Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks.
Whoops. Had my privacy screen on. Wasted Water Sports crew, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Welcome along to this afternoon/evening of rugby union action. And it kicks off here with the All Blacks' first test of the season as they take on an incredibly understrength French unit. And for that reason alone, muzzle flash, I seriously hope that you're just mucking around there. Please tell me that somebody did not put a grand on France to win. Mind you, I do want to say this. In the defense of the French, they sent over, the last time they came here to Australia, they sent a similar, completely understrength team. They nearly pulled off that series. They nearly pulled off a miracle victory. They were one line out away from the baby French team knocking off the Wallabies. But that was the Wallabies. Let's not forget that. And the Wallabies were an absolute mess at the time. So read into that what you will. Look, I can't see anything but a comprehensive All Blacks win here. So anybody who's going and putting $1,000 on France to win could be walking away from this $1,000 poorer. Dan Jam, ahoy, mate. Doing very, very well, thank you. I see that, actually, let me get a score update. Let's quickly jump around the grounds because it's probably over now, but let's see the result from Wales versus Japan. That was the game on just before this one. Oh, it's still going, and Wales are up 19-17 with 17 minutes left to play, a 2-point margin. Could Japan pull off the upset and make me regret not covering that? Mind you, 16 minutes still to play. We would have missed the start of this one. That's no good at all. Kerryama Brass, ahoy, mate. Do I have a score prediction on who's going to win? I don't necessarily have a score prediction, but as you can see, right below me in my same game multi, I have got the All Blacks winning 13+. It's a very good-looking All Blacks team. I mean, let's quickly run through them. Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, Fletcher Newell, the starting front row. You've got Scott Barrett and Fabian Holland on debut in the locks. Tupou Vai, Adi Sarvea. I mean, what a flank combination. Christian Leo Willie comes in to debut in the number 8 jersey. Cam Roygaard starting scrum half with Bowden Barrett, so they get the first crack in the halves. Rico Ioane moves back to the wing. He's been a little bit quiet in the centres, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He's moved back to the wing. Geordie Barrett starting inside centre. Billy Proctor comes into the team outside centre. Sever Reese, a familiar face there on the other wing. And Will Jordan, a very familiar face at the back. That's the starting 15. Very solid, I reckon. Gary Brass, thank you very much for the super chat over there on YouTube. Waste of Water Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on Twitch, whilst we still sit out our sin bidding from TikTok. That's still got another 24 hours to go. So the French team, as I said, pretty much an experimental squad that they've sent over, but there are some familiar faces, and that is the starting fullback and in my multi, just because of the familiarity, and I know what he can do, Theo Adesogbe. And of course, my typical picks of Cody Taylor. Talia Godwin, ahoy there. Nice to see you again. And of course, for those interested, pretty much, there's a little bit of a break, but pretty much between this one, there'll be a quick break, and then we'll be going into the Lions, continuing their tour of Australia. They take on the New South Wales Waratahs this evening. You know what, Stephen Peake? I forgot all about Wallabies versus Fiji, mate. When's that on? That's on tomorrow, isn't it? Tadia, Maori All Blacks just dipped out against Scotland. Sam Vouston, ahoy, mate. Oh, yeah, look at that. 29-26 victory for the Scots. Yes, 8 p.m. So there'll be about an hour's break or thereabouts. Then the British and Irish Lions take on the Waratahs. I'll be covering all the action here on the Waste of Water Sports. I've really been enjoying the Lions tour so far. I tell you what, they are looking very, very mint. Australia, Fiji, tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. And, okay, Roosters, Tigers. Yeah, okay. I think I will certainly consider it. I'll have a think tonight what we cover tomorrow. Henzy Penzy, ahoy, mate. We'll have a little think about it and decide on the fly what we cover tomorrow, because Roosters Tigers, not the most exciting game in the NRL, is it? Teams get ready to come out onto the field here. So we know that France typically trouble the All Blacks, or they have the capability to anyways. But as I said, this largely understrength experimental team, some unfamiliar faces line up in their squad. Still got club commitments. Some of the players are injured. But we'll see. I was talking right at the very top about how they almost stunned the Wallabies quite a few years ago, and it's only the Wallabies. But a very young and inexperienced French team very nearly got the job done on that occasion. At the end of the day, in a game of rugby, essentially, you just never know. But a very solid looking All Blacks team. I'm loving this lineup. Rico Ioane back to the wing. I love it. That just opens up some fresh faces in midfield. So we're going to get to see what Billy Proctor can bring to the table. And of course, Beauden Barrett over Damian McKenzie getting the nod first and foremost. I mean, we know how I feel about that. No question about it. Beauden Barrett is my guy. Tony Godwin says it's an insult France's centre B team. It's certainly what all the media and stuff has been surrounding the game. Yeah, it's insulting. Me personally, I wouldn't find it insulting. I mean, at some stage, players have to be developed, and the strength of club rugby in the Northern Hemisphere means that the players are going to have to take club commitments ahead of international duty. That's just the way that it is. So, yeah, me personally, I don't necessarily find it insulting, but I do understand it from a New Zealand rugby perspective. I do get it because, I mean, they're trying to market, they're trying to sell this thing out. This game, though, almost a sellout. I think all things considering, a decent amount of touring French supporters and a pretty decent crowd for what is essentially a B team. So I think there's still victors all around. But I totally hear you. Totally hear you, Tanya. And it certainly is a lot of the response from the Southern Hemisphere has been insult. Teams are just going through the anthems. Also coming up this weekend, of course, Formula One's back over in Silverstone. The British Formula One Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton led the way in free practice one. I haven't scored any updates beyond that. But how nice would it be to see Lewis Hamilton back in podium contention and doing so at his home race? Lots of support for the French, as I said. But now let's see the response from the home side. Very interested to see how Cam Roygaard goes. Christian Leo Willie, of course, big number 8. And the other debutant, Fabian Holland. How will the fresh faces perform? Same game multi, of course, Rico Ioane. As I said, he's moved back to the wing. That could just open him up, so I've got him in my same game multi. I mean, either way, wingers are pretty good shouts, aren't they? More often than not. Cody Taylor, of course. I mean, I've just always got that man there. He is my go-to for same game multis. And as probably one of the most recognizable French players, we know what we're going to get from Theo Adesogbe. And we know he's a good player, dangerous in broken play. So if the All Blacks put some aimless kicks down his way, he could single-handedly tear them apart. And quite possibly France's best option for a try scorer. And to round out the 4 legs, All Blacks 13 plus. No disrespect to France. They quite often trouble the All Blacks, but experimental team, severely under strength. I can't see anything but a comprehensive All Blacks victory as the anthem ends. And it will be time for the haka. Which rendition of the haka will they go for? I reckon it's traditional. Raven 187, ahoy, how's it going? Let's keep an eye on the players on debut as they line up here for the haka. How much passion and pride will be involved? Dare say a fair bit. Ready for the haka, and it's a good moment as they're about to launch into it. Oh, now who's leading the haka? Rico? Artie? Cody Taylor? Of course, he was going to be my next pick. Cody Taylor to lead the rendition of the haka. Let's see. I called traditional kamate. What are they going to come up with? Very intense. Whatever it is, very intense. Remember, France are one of the teams that traditionally have great responses to the haka as well. But they're looking pretty disinterested at the moment. Okay. So, first test of the season. All Blacks versus France. France have sent an understrength team. And the All Blacks have pulled out Kapaongo. Find that really surprising. Well, that signals their intent. I'll tell you what, 13 plus might not be enough. They've pulled out the special haka. I reckon they're ready to put on a score here. Scotty Robertson. It's probably one of his strongest teams that he's selected in his tenure. And of course, with the World Cup just around the corner, we are well entrenched in a World Cup period. It is time for him to start settling on some of these positions. I think this could be very close to the team we see moving forward, at least in the key positions. Moments away from kickoff. All Blacks, France, first test. Referee Nick Berry from Australia. Don't know how I feel about that. Kerryama Brass had to get a beer. Very nice. There we go. Look at that. All Blacks are looking to snap a 3-match losing streak against France. Well, I think it will happen. France are looking for their first win versus the All Blacks in New Zealand since 2009. All Blacks kicking off. Referee Nick Berry is about to blow the whistle. The countdown is on. All Blacks, first test of the year. I'm excited. The whistle blows, and they send it deep, the All Blacks, deep inside the 22. And it's taken by Juilliard and set up by France. A nice carry from Juilliard gets it right back up to the 22. This will be a simple box kick clearance from Legaric. Digs it out. They've formed a nice line of protection. And there indeed is the box kick up towards halfway. It's not going to find touch. Jordan sends it infield, and here's Bowden Barrett counter-attacking. They're running the All Blacks. Quick ball, and down the right side they go for Scotty Barrett. Faith beats, ahoy there, mate. And David Petakara. Box kick from Roygard. Sevu Reece chasing through to put pressure on, but it's taken to the back. And Stagonda has it for France. Penalty, doing time off. Sorry, not a penalty. We've got time off. Sevu Reece chasing through that high ball. He's come off second best and probably third best as well by the looks of it. Oh, way too front. Okay. He has dived into contact there with his head very, very straight. Not to the side of the body, as you're taught. Head on, and he'll be off for HIA. He went flying into contact there, Sevu Reece. Head down, didn't get it to the side of the body. And unsurprisingly, he has knocked himself out. Well, a minute in, and Damian McKenzie's up on the bench. I had just been talking about how finally we get to see the All Blacks go without D-Mac. No offense to D-Mac, really. I mean, how could he possibly take offense to that? Damian McKenzie on the sideline already as Sevu Reece very, very limp and groggly, wandering off the field. He needs support from the trainer. McKenzie on for Sevu Reece. So, where does he go? Okay, Will Jordan has moved to the right wing. So does that mean Mackenzie comes on at fullback? I actually don't mind that. Don't mind that. As long as Bodie is number 10 and stays number 10, I'm actually okay with that. As France feed the scrum, it's a big shove there by the All Blacks, but it's out for France. Segons sends it downfield and finds touch about 30 out from the All Blacks line. Japan have done it, have they? Japan have manufactured an almighty upset here against what? Well, is it really an almighty upset? No offense to Wales. But is it really? As the All Blacks through Fabian Holland take their first line out. Cam Roigard puts the box kick up. Everyone lets it bounce. And it's claimed by France on halfway. Looking left, looking right. They end up going left, back into midfield. 2 minutes gone. And the high ball. Mackenzie coming forward, but never making a play at that. As it's loose out the back and towed through by Billy Proctor. Fires the no-looker back in field. And they'll come back for a knock-on. So France turning the All Blacks around early. Got Robertson on the blow-up. And a very cool, calm and collected Fabien Gauthier in the French coaching box. So early territory is with France, this young, inexperienced team. They're getting some serious practice at scrum time. The Garrick sends it out into midfield. Nice little wraparound from Villiers. And they've actually started full of running here, the French. Big defense from the All Blacks, though, in midfield. 30 out from the line now, France. Oh, towed through, but charged down. And it sits up for the All Blacks, 10 short of halfway. Loose pass is scooped up by Mackenzie, who was standing at first receiver. France are up quickly, putting pressure on. Barrett, that's Geordie Barrett. Pops the pass up. Nowhere to go so far for the All Blacks. 4 minutes gone. Roigard with the box kick. Taken by Adesogbe. That's my boy. Anytime try scorer. Let's get it done. Early territory with this young French team. And now they spread it wide to the left. Some space opens up. A nice little kick through. The second kick from Gallaton. And Roigard scrambling back. He's there to receive the pass. But the All Blacks now in danger of getting shoved over the top of this one. Still there for them. Well secured. Good scrambling. Down the short side. Cody Taylor brings it outside the 22. 5 minutes gone. No score. Roigard back to the box kick. And Adesogbe's there. Loses it behind him. And it's taken now by Villiers. Gets the arms free. Flick passes. Batted back by the All Blacks. And Beauden Barrett heads back into the midfield. Now fires it over to the right edge. Mackenzie's got support from Cody Taylor. Taylor takes it up over halfway. Barrett in midfield. To Ethan de Groot. And a penalty to France, who are in over the top. I am de Groot holding on. And I tell you what, maybe taking the All Blacks a little bit by surprise here. France have started with really good pace. And they're going to have a shot at three. Right on halfway, they will have a crack at the 3 points here. Boy, wouldn't I feel terrible if if they've got to keep this up for 80 minutes, of course, but wouldn't I feel terrible if they got the win and I've told that person how ridiculous it would be to put $1,000 on France to win? So we got a little bit distracted before. 24 points to 19. Japan with the victory over Wales. Dan Jam said no points in the second half. 18 games on the spin for Wales. No surprise, really. Which is actually, Dan Jam, part of the reason why I really wanted to cover it. But it just went for a little bit too long. From halfway, almost in front, he's got more than enough distance on it. Joris Segond. And France lead this 3 points to zip. That was a hell of a kick. A monster from halfway. He had more distance in him. He could have kicked that from 10 meters his own side of half. 7.5 gone. France lead 3-0. Boy, what a turn up so far. Juilliard sets it up just inside their own 22. The Gaddick out into midfield. Beria plants it back, and France rolling the ball at the moment. The box kick clearance. Hughes into touch. Not a lot of distance. All Blacks will have the line out. About 30 out from the line. This near touch line. Dan Jam says Sky Jam. Sky didn't even bother showing it here. We got Lions documentaries. Oh, understandable. All Blacks secure the line out ball. Down the short side. Barrett on the wraparound. Receives the pass back, and Jordan filling in on this right wing is picked up and dumped. Geordie Barrett in midfield. Gets the offload away. Fabian Holland plants it back. And now for Barrett on halfway to clear. Kicks it straight down the throat of Gaddick, who calls the mark inside the 22. And this is all just a little bit aimless from the All Blacks to start. France controlling territory. Taking the All Blacks by surprise, maybe. Taking me by surprise, definitely. All Blacks go quickly. McKenzie puts the ball high, chases through his own kick. It's going to land just inside the French half. It's batted back, but France are there. Adastogbe running sideways. And they bring him down. 9 minutes gone here. And it's 3 points to 0. Game Mel, ahoy. How are you going? It's back for Segon to clear. Sends it high and contestable. It bounces and beats everybody. And now Roygaard spills it forward. Knock-on advantage for France, who are going to have the scrum back inside the All Blacks half. It's incredible. 10 minutes. And the game so far being dominated by this baby French team. Wild start to this one. John Michael, ahoy mate. 66% territory now for France. Yeah, that's true, Raven. The All Blacks are rusty first up. I'll tell you what, if this were a full-strength French team, they might be up by a couple of tries by now, the way this has gone. Scrum goes down. France have looked solid enough at scrum time. And Gaddick down the short side. He's got support, and now the chip and chase goes out on the full. Carried out by the All Blacks, says the touch judge. Well, no, okay. He's changed his mind. It was actually already out. Nice work there from Tom Spring. And, well, a lot of confusion here as the lineout was about to be taken 5 meters out from their own line. It's now been looked at and deemed down on the full, so they come all the way back. Cody Taylor with the throw goes to the middle. Fabian Holland has been very strong to start. They release the ball immediately. Here's the other debutant, Christian Leo Willie. Sets it up just outside the 22. They're over on the left touchline. Roygard, box kick off the left boot. Contestable ball. France have lost it backwards. It's still there for them. Back in possession inside the All Blacks half, controlling territory. Huge cutout pass, but it's a loose one to Ficao. Just inside All Blacks territory. Juilliard keeps it alive. The Garrick box kick, turning the All Blacks around, but it's a little too heavy, and it's a mark claimed by Beauden Barrett just inside the 22. Emmanuel Vincent, ahoy mate. As Barrett clears up over halfway, France think about the quick throw. But they'll just settle things down here. They've got 3 points to nil lead, 13 minutes gone. And unsurprisingly, the news coming through, Sevu Reece has failed his HIA. So a makeshift All Blacks backline, even though it's still a quality one. A makeshift backline for the rest of the game. France, uncontested, secure the line-out ball. The Maul rolling up over halfway. Still going here, France. 10 meters they've made off that first drive. And it's still there for them, crabbing towards the sideline now, though. And it goes to ground. Won't come out of there in time. Carried in by France. Scrum for the All Blacks. John Michael, you wish Tana Umaga was playing. That's certainly going back some time. Going back some ways, mate. I like it, though. The good old days. Tana Umaga, Peter Alatini, or Aaron Major. $14.5 gone. This, I believe, is the All Blacks' first scrum feed, if I'm not mistaken. As the scrum sets pretty much on halfway and it collapses on this near side. Referee Nick Berry says, who gives a toss? Wrap around for Beauden Barrett. Puts Rico into a huge gap. Double pump, but decides to hold on to it. Rico goes to ground in midfield. Quick ruck ball. McKenzie. Cutout pass is intercepted. And Adesogbe goes to ground just outside their own 22. Looking threatening there, the All Blacks. Gaps opened up everywhere. So I think this game is still going to be full of points. They've just got to keep hold of the ball for a little bit of time as France clear upfield. McKenzie's back for it. Returns it to halfway. And he's dumped in a two-man tackle. Well, Damien McKenzie, that is not your role, mate. Numbers out to the left. Barrett with a huge cutout pass. Space for Rico Ioane. And they're starting to find gaps everywhere here, the All Blacks. But a loose pass back in field. Knocked backwards. Stalls the momentum. Roygard dummies and goes straight through. Geordie Barrett in support on the outside. In and away from Adesogbe, and there's your first try. Just like that. Geordie Barrett. 5 points to 3. Kick to come. That was incredible. God zoned. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait just a minute. Looking for a knock on in the lead up to this play. And this try is going to get scrubbed out. This pass back in field, it was called knock backwards at the time. I thought it was a knock on. He's held onto it there. The ball is then slapped out and goes to ground. Sam Valston from the stands. Thank you very much for joining or rejoining, as the case may be. Channel membership. The no try. No try is the call. And what a good try. Scrubbed away. A knock on in the lead up to that. No try. And there are some furious people now that may have had Geordie Barrett as first try scorer. Scrum down for France, just short of halfway. Here they are in midfield. Some space out to the left. Adesogbe goes straight through. Draw and pass. Almost opens them up. Gaetan, 5 meters out from the line. Quick ruck ball. They've got to send it right. If they send it right, there's a try. Oh, but their inside centres tried to go up the middle himself. The pick and go. And they're over. Well, France have scored beside the post. Mikhail Juliard. And what could have been 7 points down the other end is now guaranteed to be 7 points up this end. France are up for the fight. Taking advantage of that makeshift right edge. Not that Will Jordan is not going to be up to the task, but he's not supposed to be out there. Will Jordan and Billy Proctor, well, it was actually Geordie Barrett that the break was made through. As the conversion is successful and France lead 10 points to 0. Raven says, I hope old mate put that ground on. How terrible a feeling, honestly, if they did manage to get up and win. And we've all been here, myself especially, we've all been here in the chat room telling him how crazy he is for doing that. That would be a truly horrible feeling. But anyway, there's plenty of time left in this one, and it is only 10 points. The box kick is charged down, and away goes Scotty Barrett. 5 out from the line. Here come the All Blacks. Numbers to the left. If they can get the ball out, they can't. Straightening the attack in front of the posts. Right in front. They go left. Jordan to McKenzie. McKenzie can't get on the outside. Gets up and goes again. They've got him up off the ground here. Now he gets to ground and lays it back, but they're 10 meters out. Into midfield for Cody Taylor. Rocked back in the tackle by Fiku. Holland, one of the debutants, sets it up in midfield. 10 out. Beauden Barrett to the line. Dumped on his back, but facing the right way. Roygaard into midfield. Here's Artie Sarvea. Attacking the left for Geordie Barrett. Wants his try back, does Geordie. 10 out from the line. The discipline here from France. Impressive. Immaculate so far. Out the back for Barrett. Goes into a gap. Fires the pass over the top for Will Jordan. And Jordan scores on the edge. This time it stands 10 points to 5. The kick to come. And it's Beauden Barrett using his pace. And then an accurate pass over the top. 10-5 kick to come. Earl Forrester. Ahoy there, mate. Shout out to Marlene and Les. They're in the stands and probably very much enjoying themselves, especially after that try. Will Jordan. (10-5) with the kick to come. The shot clock's dropped under 10 seconds. He's got to race through this one. Bodie, 3, 2. He gets the kick away. He puts it on target. Bowden Barrett converts, and it's 10 points to 7. What a hit back. Bowden Barrett there using his pace to get on the outside. Then France, they just run out of numbers. France with the restart. Sending it deep inside the 22. Ioane taken down. Lays it back. Penalty to the All Blacks. 21.5 minutes gone. 10-7. A very relieving penalty, this one, for the All Blacks right from the kickoff. As France illegally in over the top of that. I'm still shaking my head. Japan 24, Wales 19. What a turn up. And the action continues, of course, here on the Wastewater Sports. After this one, the Lions tour continues as the British and Irish Lions take on the New South Wales Waratahs. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy, mate. The All Blacks find touch on halfway. Cody Taylor throws to the back. Uncontested, taken down by Tupou Vai. And France driving through, taking the legs out. Penalty advantage. McKenzie chips over the top for Barrett. Taken by Adesogby. They come back for the penalty. As territory starting to even up now. 52% in favor of the All Blacks. Bowden Barrett finding touch inside the 22. Well inside the 22. Oh, he doesn't find touch. France have kept it in play. And the clearing kick is going to turn the All Blacks around. Barrett goes quickly. McKenzie has it on halfway. Spots half a gap down the short side. Beats one. But they've lost a lot of ground here, the All Blacks. Back to the halfway line. Adi Savea drives forward. The pick and go from Roygard. Space opens up. The pick and go from Savea. And now another pick and go. Christian Leo Willie can't get support as France come in and steal it and knock the ball on. It'll be a scrum for the All Blacks on the 22. John Michael. Argentina beat the British and Irish Lions before the Lions arrived. Yes, indeed. I decided to not cover that game, expecting a massacre. Instead, we got an upset. McGregor, not the Todd. Ahoy, mate. You're going to be at the Bledisloe Cup in October in Perth. It's very early, but do you have any predictions? Oh, God. We don't even know what the teams are going to look like come then, but, I mean, it's very hard. I think the Wallabies are going to be a lot more competitive this year, but I think they're still a year or two away of development to even think about getting their hands on that Bledisloe again. As the All Blacks put in a big shove here. Penalty advantage as it collapses. McKenzie with the inside ball for Bowden Barrett. Pops it back to Rieko Ioane. 10 meters out now, the All Blacks. And we come back for the penalty. So they could have a shot at 3 here. A couple of kicking options. Bowden Barrett's there. McKenzie's there. Both more than capable of putting this over. About 15 meters in from touch on the 22. They're going to put it into the corner. They are putting it into the corner. Godzone 007 says All Blacks starting to warm up. And when they maintain possession, the All Blacks, they're finding gaps everywhere. Cody throws into the middle of the line out. Fabian Holland on debut has been so secure. And the rolling maul is nicely set. Cody Taylor's got it to the back. Come on, my try scorer. Anytime try. No, the rolling maul stalls. Roygard releases it to Geordie Barrett. To brother Bowden. McKenzie cuts back in field. Still going McKenzie. A metre out. He's cut down. Just to the left of the post. The crash ball for Tupou Vai. And he's over under the sticks. All Blacks take the lead. Piss easy once they get it done. 12-10 with the kick to come. Damien McKenzie off the right foot. Stepping once, stepping twice. Beats a couple of tackles. Simplest of simple conversions here for Bowden Barrett. And they are ticking things over nicely now, the All Blacks. 14 plays 10. Sorry. 14 plays 10. And possession territory starting to go the way of the All Blacks now, 58%. 27 minutes gone. That's looking a bit more like it, more like what we expected. France get us back underway. And it's taken by Rieko Ioane. Offloads immediately. And there's Leo Willie. Roygard with the box kick clearance. Adesogbe's got it at the back for France. Kicking high for himself. Chasing through. The ball's batted back. Loose on the deck, but still there for France. Barlow sends it left. Dummy in the kick. And Fiku in over the top. All Blacks told to release the tackle. The Garrick sends it right. Duguay loses the ball. Stolen by the All Blacks. Counter-attack is on. McKenzie dancing around in midfield. Before he surrenders in the tackle. Roygard sends it left for Scott Barrett. Bowden on the wraparound. Geordie dummies and goes straight through. Needs support. Pops it back for Bowden. And they're back inside the French half. Oh, looking very slick now, the All Blacks. Starting to look very slick. Geordie Barrett with the short ball. And Billy Proctor, that might be his first touch that I can remember. As they go left and almost through goes McKenzie. He was ankle tapped and brought to ground. Holland pops it out the back. France holding on by a thread. Now, Artie Sarvea's got space. He's got a 2-on-1, but runs out of space on the right sideline. Has to come back in field. Still standing, though, Artie. They're inside the 22. And a loose pass goes out the back. It'll be there for France. No, it's dived on by the All Blacks. Great commitment to get back and fix up the error. But the ball spills out on the French side. And Adesogbe clears it upfield. And they've repelled that threat. Rieko Ioane goes all the way back. 10 out from his own line to send it in field to Jordan. Are they going to counter-attack from here? Yes, they are. Jordan steps off the right boot. Passes back in field to Bowden. Chips it over the top. The kick pass for Rieko Ioane. And it beats everybody into touch. But you can't blame the Enterprise. Warming up nicely now, the All Blacks. And looking very threatening with every run. Connor Crowley, straight after this, or after a little bit of a break, I think there's about half an hour in between, we will be jumping into the British and Irish Lions versus the New South Wales Waratahs. As we've got timeout here, Rabah Slimani down for some treatment. McGregor Orchard, the Wallabies, it's a loaded question, mate. I could actually do probably an entire 20 to 30 minute video about the Wallabies and all the issues that they've had over the years. Is knocked on here at line-out time by the All Blacks. France have the advantage at the back. Le Garrick with a nice little spin. Opens up half a gap. They're 22 out now, France. In midfield. Gaetan takes it to the 22. Here's Orado. Still playing under advantage. Oh, and they've lost the ball. They'll come back for the advantage. A knock on from a stray boot. And it was actually a penalty advantage they've come back for. Throwing across at the line out. Oh, Sam Vouston with the gift membership. And the beneficiary is John Michael. Well, how deserved is that? It's always nice when the channel membership goes to a regular participant in the chat room. John Cara. Will Jordan scored the try for the All Blacks, and Tupou Vai. Mikhail Juliad for France. The next evolution of my screen layout will be having the try scorers on the screen. France have decided to take a shot at three here. The Gaddick from 45 meters out on the angle. About 10 in from touch. Or 15 in. And he puts it on target. He puts it over. It's 14 points to 13 as we approach the halftime break. There's still 6 or so minutes to go. They're going to go into this break feeling pretty confident, the baby French team. All Blacks send the restart deep. And the clearing kick up over halfway. It's a nice, solid purchase on it. Seven minutes to go till the halftime break. 1 point the difference. Who saw this coming? Well, probably old mate at the top of the stream who was talking about putting $1,000 on France. All Blacks secure the line out on halfway. Leo Willie. A nice strong carry. Penalty advantage here for the All Blacks. Jordan Barrett goes out the back for Damien McKenzie, who spills it. But they had the penalty advantage. Back they come. France offside. Take the three. Are they going to put it into the corner? Of course they are. We all know I'm a very, very big advocate of taking the points when they're on offer. So they've got to make this count. The ABs finding touch. 10 out from the line. This is a great position. Cody Taylor to the front. They release it immediately into midfield. Darvea tries to drive under. It's still there for the All Blacks. Roygaard to Leo Willie in midfield. Roygaard goes again. It's a loose pass. It's been knocked on and France come away with it. And that, my friends, is why you take the points. That's why you take the points when they're on offer. Because they've messed it up. France have cleared into touch. All Blacks line out throw. About 30 out from the line over on that left touch. Cody Taylor goes long to the very back. Taken down by Tupou Vai. And the rolling maul is set. Cody Taylor breaks away. Dummies. Goes through a big gap. And he's brought down 15 out from the line. The ball is loose at ruck time. Towed through by France. Knock on by the All Blacks. Another scrum down for France here is just a little bit scrappy. A little bit of panic, maybe. The All Blacks guilty, perhaps, of trying to score too quickly in the phases. They need a little bit more of a build. Frustration in the coach's box. 6 handling errors. Well, that'd be the cause of a lot of frustration. John Cara says Scott Barrett seems to never make the right decisions. Oh, poor Scotty. Poor Scott. Scrum goes down. It sets. France with the feet. Sending it out for the clearing kick for Segons. Up over halfway. Taken by Ioane. Ioane straightens. Taken down in the tackle by Texeront. Bowden Barrett down the short side. Pops it up for I.M. de Groot. Still there for the All Blacks. Surveyor. The wraparound from McKenzie. McKenzie uses his pace. But France scramble well. 30 metres from the line. Bowden Barrett kicks through. A deflection off a French boot. And it sits up nicely for them. Tupou Vai's in over the top of this one. And a penalty to the All Blacks. Holding on. Tupou Vai wins the turnover. Now, take the 3. There's 3 minutes to go until the halftime break. Oh, they're putting it into the corner again. The knee crumbler. Ahoy, mate. All Blacks have got this 1,200 to 13. Richard says, I remember being at Jonah's last game in Sydney and Umaga was playing. We were chanting, Umaga. Yes, that was a very popular chant back in the day, for sure. Hana Umaga, Jonah Lomu. I thought, was Tane Randall the captain back at the time? As they released the ball to Roygard off the back of the line out. He dummies. 10 metres out from the line. Fletcher Newell drives forward just to the right of the post here. France are numbered up in defence. Got Barrett on the left. Staying left. Darvea. Knocked backwards in the tackle, but he goes again. 7 metres out. Edging ever closer here, the All Blacks. Proctor tries to burrow under. They hold him up. France have got him up off the deck. Now he gets to ground. 5 metres out. Big open side to the right. Scott Barrett takes the line on. Vai wants a second. Still 5 metres out. Cody Taylor. It'd be nice if he got one. It'd be nice if somebody from my multi got one before the halftime break. Fabian Holland in front of the post here. Still 5 metres out, the All Blacks. The wraparound from Proctor to Barrett. Jordan with the cutout pass to Geordie Barrett. Falls, catches the ball, gets up, goes again, and dives over in the corner. Geordie Barrett gets his try. Had one taken off him. Now he's got one. $19 points to 13 with the kick to come. Nice little set piece play out to the right. Will Jordan, the cutout ball. Jordan to Geordie. And they've got the job done on this occasion, the All Blacks. Knocking back the 3. From the sideline, the right sideline, So certainly not the favoured side for a right-footed kicker. But Beauden Barrett puts it on target, puts it right down the middle. And the All Blacks lead 21 points to 13. And that is the halftime break. Referee Nick Berry says that's it. We will head to the sheds for a break. 21 points to 13. The All Blacks take the lead and domination in the end with territory. Sever Reece ruled out inside the first minute, Stephen Peake. Minute number 1, Sever Reece was ruled out with a HIA. Devastating for him. The Knee Crumbler says, hey, Dan, can you please send a shout out to Dweeb, my missus? Is that your pet name for her, or is that her actual name? Anyways, ahoy, Dweeb. And hope you're enjoying yeah, nickname. Hope you're enjoying your nickname. Now, you know what that is, actually? That is the sign of a healthy relationship. If you can call your partner dweeb, and they're perfectly content with that, and take it in the joking jocularity form that it's meant to be taken, then you're onto a good thing there, my man. Cheers. Now, what are we missing out on? What are we missing out on at the moment? We are missing out on Raiders. The Raiders are playing the Dragons, aren't they? Canberra Raiders are playing the St. George Dragons in the NRL. Lisa Herman waiting in anticipation in South Africa for the Box against Italy. I tell you what, Springboks should dominate that one. That should be pretty much one-way traffic. Coming up after this, of course, we've got the British and Irish Lions tour continuing as they take on the New South Wales Waratahs. And yes, South Africa versus Italy. 96% of the votes are suggesting the Springboks will win. And I'm expecting that as well. I mean, just look at the most recent scores between the two. 63 points to 21 in favour of the Springboks. 49-3 in favour of the Springboks. 35-6. The last time that Italy beat the Springboks was 20th of November in 2016, where they edged out a 20 points to 18 win. So there you go. Teams for that one, South Africa. There he is, my boy, Cheslin Colby. Yeah, one-way traffic in that one, I think. It might not be too much of a spectacle. So, NRL Raiders are up 6-0. Xavier Savage with the first try. So, Dragons will probably be up for that fight. I was tempted to tip the Dragons, actually, in that one, but decided to stick with the Raiders. Knee Crumbler, you're in Dunedin tonight. Very nice. Faith Beats, you call your wife Peanut. There you go. All right, so halftime here, 21 points to 13. The All Blacks have done just enough. Just enough in that first half. But it is their first hit out, of course. Tries by Tupou Vai and Will Jordan And for France, a breakaway try that was finished off, a breakaway play anyway, that was finished off by Michael Gouliard. 21 points to 13. The ill discipline of the All Blacks has given France some extra points. At halftime here, 21-13. No ticks off the multi just yet. I'll tell you what, I'm on a run of 3 legs. The last 3 games in a row, we've hit 3 of the 4 legs. Only missed out on the last one. Very painful, but it's looking like 0 are going to hit. So that streak might be coming to an end in the worst possible way. All right, halftime. I'm going to have myself a quick break. And we shall be back momentarily on the other side of this. (21-13), All Blacks up so far. All right. Wasted Water Sports crew. How are we doing? Half time here, 21 points to 13 in favor of the All Blacks, who have done just enough in that first half. It was pretty scrappy, but they'll be content going into the break with a nice little 8-point lead. And I would anticipate that they go on with it in the second half. But credit to this young, inexperienced French team. Credit where credit is due, right? Because they've come on And really, I mean, taking the All Blacks by surprise a little bit, I would dare say. Taking me by surprise anyway. How do you rate the All Blacks' first half performance? Have your say. 11% have said impressive, 59% have said solid, 30% have said below par. And I think that's a pretty fair reflection of how it was. Faith beats. No need to apologize for that, my friend. What it's all about. Waste to World of Sports, yeah. Cheers. Frank Boff. David Savage, first try scorer for the Raiders. Yes, indeed. Raiders up 6 points to 0 over the Dragons. Here on the Waste to World of Sports, we've got the British and Irish Lions tour continuing as they take on the New South Wales Waratahs. That one's coming up pretty much. I'm just going to say immediately following this. There's a little bit of a break in between. By the time this one finishes, yeah, there's probably actually going to be just under an hour. But that's coming up next. That's coming up tonight here on the Wasted World of Sports. Philip Cantillon. It was much better in the latter part of the half for sure. Absolutely. I guess the really positive thing for the All Blacks is that when they did string some phases together and hold on to the ball, get some continuity going, they opened up the French defense pretty easily at different periods of time. Now, they either ended up making a mistake or France scrambled really well. But the positive signs are there for this second half as things continue to click. And let's not forget, too, I mean, losing your starting right winger inside the first minute. Will Jordan expecting to play fullback. Suddenly he's playing on the right wing. Damian McKenzie hadn't even had time to sit down on the bench and get himself settled before he was up and about and called onto the field. And I think that's, it's the old, like when Razor first took over, he tried to get that dual playmaker thing going by having Beauden Barrett and Damian McKenzie on the field at the same time. And what ultimately happened was they just got in each other's way a little bit. Well, that's what I felt anyway. They got in each other's way a little bit. And that can be the downfall to having two playmakers on the field. Damian McKenzie coming in and slotting in at fullback. I couldn't help but notice that he did shift in and was caught at first receiver a fair bit. But it's paying dividends. The gaps are opening up. So some positive signs there. Some things that obviously will need to be worked on, but I mean, it's the first test of the year, so that was always to be expected. Frank Boff, you're not up to speed with the Aussie team. Will they make a game for the Lions? Yeah, to a certain extent. Look, I'm expecting the Lions to win all tests quite comfortably. Quite comfortably in the end. I think the Wallabies are capable of hanging with them for a good 60 minutes or so. It is, of course, an 80-minute game. But you never know. I mean, look, if they hang with them for 60 minutes, that final 20, a bounce of the ball here, a referee's call there. I mean, those are not things that you want to be relying on. I'm certainly not suggesting they should rely on those things. You should always strive to push yourself to be better. But, yeah, I think they'll be in the fight for a majority of the contests. But ultimately, this is a really good-looking Lions team. Forget about that loss first up to Argentina. It was their first hit out together. It doesn't mean much. These are genuine warm-up games at the moment. Doesn't matter if they win or lose. It's all about keeping an eye on the smaller things like combinations and individual form. This is a good-looking Lions team. They will be very hard to beat. Knee Crumbler says the Lions should play the Wars. It would still be 1,200 to 0. to the wires. Frank Boff says, agree. Momentum is a huge factor in game. Yellow, red cards, etc. 21 points to 13. Halftime here. Speaking of momentum, the All Blacks carried it all into the halftime break. Expecting them to go on with it in the second. Godzone says Australia have to get past Fiji first. Now, I had the absolute pleasure of calling Fiji's defeat of the Wallabies in the last World Cup. I had the absolute pleasure of calling that game. What a moment in history it was. What an honor it was, a privilege to be part of. Can they do it again? Starbuds, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. As France get us underway for the second half, and the All Blacks spill it immediately. Rieko Ioane with the knock on. And that is not the start the All Blacks were looking for here in the second 40. Viking X, I love you, mate. You're a long-time supporter of this channel, and I love and appreciate you. And I know that the Raiders are your team. But if, by some miracle, the Raiders win the premiership this season, 2026, we will be all rugby union content. I'm only joking, of course. Scrum down here for France, 22 meters out. Can they jag one back immediately after the break? Legatic sends it into midfield. The pressure is on here for the All Blacks early in the second. Quick ruck ball as France sweep around over onto that left edge, and they get a penalty advantage, do they? No, referee was just telling people to get back on side as ticks it on down the short side. Back into midfield. Beria pops it up for Barriot. I'm probably pronouncing letters in these French names that I'm not supposed to. France have it in midfield, 15 out. The All Blacks defense up to the task for the moment. 7 phases in, keeping them in that 10 to 15 meter range. Biku in midfield. He's looked dangerous a couple of times tonight. Beria lays it back, still there for France. 10 phases now, but still in that 10 to 15 meter channel out from the line. Down the short side, in and away from Villiers. 10 meters out now. In over the top, the All Blacks put pressure on, but still there for France. 14 phases now. Ball is lost backwards. They're 5 meters out with some front foot ball now. Numbers here, and it opens up for Gabin Villiers. France have scored the first try in the second half. Well, the All Blacks have come out of sleep. Rieko Ioane knocks the ball on from the kickoff, and France build an attack. Just waiting for their opportunity. Damien McKenzie didn't even make an attempt at that tackle. I mean, he was never going to stop it, in fairness, but he didn't even try in the end. Wow. The baby French are putting on a performance. JCS Moki, ahoy, mate. You know what? I've just realized all this time I've been calling you JCS Moki. It's JC Smokey, isn't it? And I'm a goddamn idiot. You know what? I appreciate you never actually correcting me and pointing out my foolishness. But that would be it, wouldn't it? JC Smokey. But anyway, I digress. Who was the last try scorer for the All Blacks? It was Geordie Barrett. But it is France who have scored the first try of the second half, much like they did in the first half. 21 points to 20. And this game's on a knife's edge again. This game is back on. 21-20. As France clear downfield, Damien McKenzie claims possession. 21-20. Let's get a scoreboard update. All Blacks wrap around with Beauden Barrett. Inside ball for Artie Surveyor. Fabian Holland now carries it forward. The pick and go from Artie Surveyor. France in over the top as the ball is spilt free out the back of the ruck. Penalty to the All Blacks. They go quickly. Roygaard taps and goes. Dummies. Opens them up. Roygaard still going. 5 out from the line now. 2 short from the line. It's still there for the All Blacks. France in over the top. France pile in, and they might have turned this over, the French. They might have turned this over successfully. They have. Back into the end goal for a clearing kick. And Segons puts it into touch, but the pressure is still going to be on. Pressure is still on. Mark Moas, Bus, Razor, Force Out, Foster. I'm always from the belief of karma. The All Blacks aura is gone. Well, to be honest, Moas, Bus, I wouldn't be getting carried away one way or the other with the first test of the season. All Blacks to the front of the line out. The ball's tapped down immediately. Geordie Barrett's got it in midfield. France get hands in on it, but it's still there for Roygaard. Back for Tupou Vai. 5 meters out. Roygaard cut out pass to the right edge. Fabian Holland's out there. Still there for the All Blacks. Staying down the short side. Fletcher Newell. The pick and go. Taylor to Proctor. They're a meter out now, the All Blacks. Beauden Barrett, the short ball to Will Jordan, who spins over the line, reaches out and plants it down. And the All Blacks hit straight back, much like they did in the first half. Will Jordan gets a double. Share it around, boys. I've got other try scorers in my multi. Come on now. It is indeed a try-fest at the moment. Will Jordan with a double. 26-20. The All Blacks have opened up their lead again. Beauden Barrett, he's on his favourite side, but he's kicking well today. 3 from 3. Puts another one down the middle from just to the left of the post. And it's 28 points to 20. Will Jordan bagging himself a double. He'll be a happy camper. Some changes now for the French. Ready to get us back underway. Well, no, referee Nick Berry says, nope, we're not quite ready yet. Hold on. What have we got time off for here? Oh, some confusion around the substitutes. That's what's happening. Confusion reigns. Seven and a half gone in the second half. And we've already seen 2 tries, 1 each. Now they can get the kickoff away, France. Sending it deep inside the 22. Taken by Holland. Fabian Holland's been great on debut tonight. The All Blacks might have just found a long-term solution there at lock. Roygaard breaks away, sends the box kick upfield. Adestogbe's got it. He's dangerous on the counter-attack. Adestogbe lays it back 30 out from the line. France have certainly put up a good showing for themselves here. France have it in midfield. Here's one of their substitutes. Not even going to try and pronounce this guy's name. In and away goes Tom Spring. Can't get through, but it's still there on the 22. And straight up the middle. Van Tonda. 5 out from the line. Quick ruck ball. It spills free. Trying to spin his way over is Fisher. They're just to the left of the post here, a metre out. Here come France again. Adesogbe's waiting for it at the back. Told to use it. They try and drive over. Up against that left upright. Penalty advantage as the ball's not coming out. There it is, loose at the back. They'll pick and go again. Burrowing under to score the try. Who's going to come up with it? France have scored under the posts. I can't believe it. Oh, the All Blacks are under immense pressure. It's Cameron Walkie. Cameron Walkie. Under the sticks. What is going on out there? Holy hell. $28-25 with the kick to come. What was the halftime talk? Because whatever the halftime talk was, it certainly hasn't got the All Blacks up. Conversion successful, and it's 1 point the difference again. This is unreal. Oh, I wonder if old mate who was talking about putting the grand on France is starting to feel a wee bit nervous. As we're back underway, All Blacks drop it just outside the 22. France secure the ball, told to use it. Carried back so they can't clear directly into touch. Taken back. The kick goes down the middle of the field. And it'll be taken on the full by Beauden Barrett. He's got McKenzie with him. McKenzie now chips for the corner. The kick pass for Proctor. Proctor taken down. 40 out from the French line. By in midfield for Beauden Barrett. Drops it back inside for Scotty Barrett. All Blacks ball on halfway. Back to Beauden. Puts it high. Maybe a touch offside there out on the right wing. Will Jordan. The ball's batted back by France and now lost forward. So that's a little result for the All Blacks. The scrum will go down. All Blacks feed. Oh, Will Jordan did knock it on first. So there we go. They've had a look. The TMO has intervened. Will Jordan with the knock on. So this will actually be a France feed into the scrum. And more ball for them. So, Tupou Vai'i down in back play. Five carries for 30 meters. That's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet day out for Tupou. One point the difference. We go into the final 30 minutes of the game. Tania Godwin says All Blacks need some work on their defense. as Duplessis, Carifi onto the field. Will the substitutes make some difference here for the All Blacks? And I think John Cara, I believe, has just hit the nail on the head there. Stick to the basics. I said it in the first half as this scrum sets. France have it at the back. That was a good, solid scrum. They're gone in midfield. Clears it. Has he overcooked it? No, he's landed it perfectly. McKenzie with the hospital pass to Will Jordan back in field. Roigard has it at the back. That was a risky throw, though, from Damien McKenzie. The high ball goes up. They're going to stay in their own half here, but it's a good kick chase. Tom Spring brings it down, but still there for France now on halfway. Sending it into midfield. They're gone with the high ball. Taken down by Bowden Barrett. Craig Kennett. Ahoy there, mate. I always love to see those channel member badges. The ball's loose out the back. Gardy Surveyor coming away with it. Roigard. Back out into midfield. De Groot. Defense has been strong here for France. Barrett with the chip over the top for Jordan. Open space now. Roigard for Cody Taylor. Taylor has got support, but France scramble well. The ball's loose out the back of the ruck. Still there for the All Blacks. Roigard back down the short side for Carifi. They're on the 22. France look to steal, and they've got in and pilfered it successfully. Great turnover there for France, who now clear outside the 22. Will Jordan has it on halfway. Tries to step away from the kick chase, but Tom Spring has hold of him. And it's still there. All Blacks, 40 out from the line, leading by 1. Geordie Barrett pops it up for Carifi. Back for Will Jordan. Basketball pass over the top to Vai. France's defense strong as Cody Taylor is forced back in field. 54 minutes gone. Barrett pops it up now for Proctor. Solid defense again from France. Barrett spins and changes direction, but they're wise to that. Pitco's got him in midfield. Geordie Barrett now for McKenzie. Cut out pass for Jordan. Flick pass is knocked down by France. Was it deliberate? Well, this could be a key moment in the game. Knock-on advantage at the moment, although the referee has got his arms slightly up as if to suggest it's a penalty advantage. They might deem that to be deliberate knock-on, and it is penalty. Well, if he's called it a deliberate knock-on, that's an immediate card, and to the pocket goes Nick Berry. Deliberate knockdown, yellow card. And that is the winger, Gabin Villiers. A yellow card for a deliberate knockdown. Is that a turning point in this one? Could that be a turning point in this game? Well. John Cara says, feel like the All Blacks are not sticking to the game plan. Well, here's their chance to get back on track. Line out throw, 22 meters out. Taylor throws to the middle. Holland secure again. Carriffy carries it inside the 22. Zavea. No meters gained, but they creep more towards midfield. De Groot's gone off. Ollie Norris has come on. Zavea with Barrett wrapping around the back. Carriffy has half a gap. Still there for the All Blacks. McKenzie looking to grab a kick through. It deflects back into his hands. Roygaard caught at the back of the ruck. France in, putting pressure on. The All Blacks have not responded well at all so far tonight to this French pressure. The baby French, they've got nothing to lose, essentially. What it comes down to is Jordan with the pick and go. A little bit isolated, but does get it back. Roygaard. No idea what to do there. Roygaard had nobody running off him. Davea comes into scrum half. Here's Scott Barrett now. 5 meters out. Davea down the short side. The pick and go. Reaching out to score the try with the go-go gadget arms is Billy Proctor. He looks interested. Billy Proctor gets the gadget arms going. And it's 33 points to 27. A very high-scoring game, this one. Billy Proctor. That was unexpected. All Blacks extend again. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. The TMO has been called. This try is not awarded yet. This has not been awarded yet. They're going to take this one off them. Proctor reaching out, loses it over the try line. Billy Proctor has lost this over the try line. It's going to be no try. Knock on. And a scrum down for France. This will be no try. The crowd is not happy. A goal line dropout, it is in fact, because it was over the try line when it happened. That try will be disallowed. Takiaho is on. As France send this one deep. McKenzie takes it on the full. Here they come, the All Blacks again. Totally fair. That try disallowed. Big defense here from France, looking to drive in over the top. Still there, though, for the All Blacks. 58 minutes gone. 1 point the difference. Down the short side. Barrett to McKenzie. McKenzie tries to duck his way under a couple of tackles. They've got hold of him. John Cara says the Union, TMO, and NRL are killing the game. The bunker. As the ball goes high. Contestable kick at a Sogby versus Jordan. Jordan bats it back for Billy Proctor. Now a kick over the top as Sogby was up in the line. It's going to sit up in the end goal. Sogby grounds it. And a goal line dropout again for France. Yeah, I've got to say, John Cara, whilst your overall point, I do believe is absolutely true. On this particular occasion, we can't argue the right call was made. It was pretty clearly a knock on from Billy Proctor. So as long as the right calls are being made, I have no issue. But the biggest issue with the TMO in Union and the bunker in Rugby League is that they quite often get it wrong, don't they? Even with all the camera angles available. As Cortez, my boy Cortez Ratama, here he comes to inject some life into this contest. France go deep with the restart again. McKenzie takes it on halfway. So as long as the right call is made, and on that particular occasion, hands down, the right call was made. There can be no question. So as long as the right call's being made, we're happy with it. But yeah, that's the problem. So often the right call is not made. They got that one spot on, though. McKenzie down the short side. 20 minutes to go. 1 point the difference. And then another error here from the All Blacks. Huge contact in defense from France. Forces the ball free. And they clear it upfield now, sending it out on the full. An advantage has been played, says the referee. A very short advantage. As France have kicked this away. And it's been called no advantage. They're not coming back for the knock on. They're going to play the out on the full line out. Well, that is a call that's gone the All Blacks' way. That is very, very harsh on the French. As the throw goes to the back of the line out. Uncontested. It's loose. Jordan bats it back for Bowden Barrett. Into midfield for Finau. Ranama sends it left. Takiaho. McKenzie out the back for Bowden Barrett. Huge cutout pass for Jordan, who chips and chases. Needs the bounce. Gets the bounce. Oh, but Adesogbe plucks it out of the air. They're a metre out from their own try line here, France, as they scramble. And they secure the ruck ball. Desperation, scrambling defence once again. It is still there for the All Blacks, though, a chance. France told to use it. And the box kick clearance still inside their own 22. The pressure is still on. All Blacks go to the middle of the line out. Via taps it down. 10 metres out in midfield. Savea has been kept very quiet tonight. Takiaho, 10 metres out just to the left of the post. Back into midfield for Savea. Bowden Barrett on the wraparound. They've got a 3-on-2 here, the All Blacks. Geordie Barrett out to Will Jordan. Will Jordan gets a hat trick. His third try tonight. The ever reliable Will Jordan has to fill in on the right wing for Sevu Reece, who failed his HIA inside the first minute. And Will Jordan with his third try of the evening. The All Blacks go up 33-27 with the kick to come. Boy, this has been a fight, though. And it shall continue because this one's not over yet. Still 16 minutes left to play. Oh, wait just a minute. Wait just a minute. The bunker has intervened again. Although the TMO, rather. The TMO. I've got to say, Will Jordan did not look thrilled when he got up. Will Jordan was not celebrating at all that try. And we're looking for a potential obstruction here. It's a way back in field. It's a long ways back in field. But The number 18 there, Tosi, does go into the defensive line and stop. This is going to be an interesting call. Tosi is in front of the ball carrier. There was absolutely no chance the defender was going to get to Beauden Barrett at the back, but Tosi does make contact. There's also a secondary contact there from Karifi. No try, and this will be a penalty to France. It's going to be no try. The All Blacks with another one scrubbed out. An obstruction penalty to France. And that explains why Will Jordan was not celebrating, did not look happy at all, because I think he knew that one was coming. Penalty to France. So 28 points to 27 it remains. Clearing into touch. 10 short of halfway. France with the line out throw. They go to the front. All Blacks compete, but it's still there for France. Rolling ball is set. Not going forwards at the moment. The ball is out. Box kick is sent up and into touch on the full. Pressure from the All Blacks there, forcing the mistake. 16 minutes left to play. All Blacks will have the line-out throw 10 meters inside French territory. Cheers from southern France. Cheers. And this baby French team putting on a hell of a performance. All Blacks have it, though. Takiaho to Ratama. Numbers to the right. Beauden Barrett goes on his own. Oh, there was an overlap to the right. It's still on, but Rico Ioane goes on his own. Can somebody draw and pass and use an overlap for crying out loud? Will Jordan forced now to step back in field as he finally does receive the ball. 22 meters out now in midfield. Norris straightens the attack. And we've got a cheeky little knock on. The French defense again forcing the mistake. Oh, they must be applauded for this effort. They must be applauded for this effort. The baby French. You know what? I talked about it at the top of the stream. How France, due to club rugby commitments and everything, they were forced to send a really, really understrength team to Australia once. And they very nearly pulled off a series victory. Well, they have taken this fight to the All Blacks. (28, 27, 15 minutes to go. No game ML, it's all rugby union tonight. We've got this game, of course, and then following this game, British and Irish Lions take on the New South Wales Waratahs. It is a rugby union night. (22s on the field for the All Blacks. Quinn Tupai. Welcome along there, young lad. Brethren 100 says France might actually take this one. We'll see. Big shove at scrum time for the All Blacks, but France have it. The clearing kick, it's low and flat from inside the 22, headed towards the sideline, but McKenzie swoops on it. Damian McKenzie to Ioane. Ioane gets caught up in traffic, and it's there for the All Blacks just short of halfway. Beauden Barrett in midfield. Sends it on to Finau. 13 minutes left to play. Down the left edge, Tupai puts the grubber kick through and finding touch. Adesogbe happy to just watch that one. And France will have the line-out throw 10 short of halfway. John Cara says Jeff Wilson will be pooping his pants with saying the All Blacks will dominate the French. Hey, I said it too, John Cara. I must admit, at the top of the stream, I predicted a 13-plus victory for the All Blacks. So I've been made a fool of as well. Jeff Wilson's not the only one who's been made to look silly tonight. As France now, the rolling maul rumbles up over halfway. They made a good 10 meters off of that. And now Fiku in midfield pops the pass up. Still there for France. 1 point the difference. The yellow card is over. They're back to a full complement. And the All Blacks have stolen it. Fabian Holland sends it out. Here's Carriffy on to Beauden Barrett. Numbers to the right. Geordie Barrett. On to Jordan, who cuts back in field. Beauden Barrett's picked up and dumped. The French defense has been huge again. Geordie Barrett with the double pump. McKenzie falls on his face as he goes into contact. Tosi in midfield. 40 out from the line. Barrett at first receiver. Out the back it goes for Tupai. Savia gets on the outside of one. Space now for Rico Ioane, who steps back in field. The French scrambling defense again, though, covering. 22 out from the line now, the All Blacks. Ratima. 1 out from the ruck there to go back in field. Geordie Barrett. 10 meters out, France digging in here, looking for the turnover. It might be there for France, and it is. What a turnover by Alexandre Fischer. France have got it 10 meters out from their own line. That's a huge turnover. Sending it into midfield. And the clearing kick is sent up to halfway. France with the turnover under pressure. They continue to scramble and turn the ball over. QT Pluto says people underestimate France so much. And in fairness, QT, they did send a really understrength team. So it is understandable. But I think this highlights just how much depth there is in French rugby at the moment. As the All Blacks secure the line-out ball. Ratima's got it at the back. 10 minutes left to play. The kick is overcooked, and it's an easy take inside the 22 for Spring. 10 minutes left to play. The mark is called. QT Pluto, if they win, you win about $600 or $5. Oh, that's immense. Well, there's actually a story here on YouTube. Before the stream started, somebody asked the question about putting $1,000 on France. And it was pretty much universally in the chat room, by myself included, as the All Blacks secure this line out on halfway. By myself included, we called it a crazy bet. Well, it's not looking so crazy at the moment. Ratima to Beauden Barrett. Chips and chases for himself. Adesogbe diving and taking the mark inside the 22. Theo Adesogbe. He might not have got the try for me tonight. But boy, he's been immense on defense at the back there. The All Blacks were on for a try for all money there. And Theo Adesogbe claiming the mark and now clearing. Fantastic scrambling defense again from France. Richard says, Dan, when you see my name come up, just say, am I allowed to say that, or is it something naughty? I always get nervous when I see things that I don't understand. Because you understand, there's always people trying to trick me into saying things. They come in with names like Ophelia Heine and "9 minutes left in this contest. What a war it's been. Going to go down to the wire. Innocent anglerfish, ahoy, mate. So close indeed. So close indeed. It's Takiyaho to throw into the line out. All Blacks ball just outside the 22. They go to the front and secure it. Rolling maul is set, but it spills out the back. They pick up and go again. All Blacks have it. 22 out. Back into midfield. 8 minutes remaining. Penalty advantage. Ratama will chip straight into the hands of the French and will come back for the penalty. Who was that? That was Galiton. The All Blacks with a decision to make. 1 point the difference. They're going to put it into the corner. The All Blacks no, they're not. They're taking the 3. The All Blacks have conceded to this French defense. This baby French defense has been so immaculate that with 7 minutes left in the game, the All Blacks have conceded and said, we will have a shot at the 3 points, thanks, because we are not breaking this line. Bowden Barrett puts it over to make it 31 points to 27. But I tell you what, that is the ultimate nod of acknowledgement by this All Blacks team to this understrength, inexperienced French team. That is a mark of respect that they have earned throughout this contest. And a testament to them. 4 points the difference, 7 to play. The restart lands just outside the 22. Fabian Holland pulled down. Ratama sends it back inside the 22 to Karifi. Carried back, so they can't clear directly into touch. Told to use it. Ratama with the box kick. Sends it high. Contestable ball. Ioane disrupts, and Takiyaho brings it down. Into midfield. It's a loose ball for Bowden Barrett, who scoops it up and clears. France, though, look to counter. And it's bounced over the head of Damian McKenzie from inside the 22. Not a lot of distance on the clearance. So here we go. 5 minutes left to play. McKenzie finds touch just outside the 22. And here come France. Oh, boy. 5 minutes to go. An attacking line-out throw. Can they get it here, France? Secure the line-out ball. That's the first job done. The ball is taken down. The rolling maul is set, but it's very, very scrappy at the back. France send it into midfield. 4.5 minutes to go. France in midfield. Talfifanua lays it back. They're 22 out. Simple stuff here for France, trying to earn the advantage. A penalty advantage will give them the opportunity for a risk-free shot at the All Blacks line. The All Blacks are not responding, though, with ill discipline. Not committing to the breakdowns. Waiting for their moment. Adesogbe goes into scrum half. And again, Talfifanua. To the left edge they go. Woki. 9 phases. They've gone nowhere. Short side. Cut out pass creates a little bit of space, but Will Jordan jams the cross. Makes the tackle. They're 10 meters out now, France. And lost the ball in midfield. Huge contact in the tackle. And France have come up with the spilt ball. Big defense there from Quint Tupaia. And Roman Talfifanua with the dropped ball. Oh, that's a huge, huge let-off for the All Blacks. 2.5 minutes to play. I think it's safe to say my multi is shot to pieces. John Cara says French should be proud of their performance tonight. Absolutely, they should. It was a hell of a performance. They have been right in this game the whole way through. It's not one of those situations where a late try has brought the scorelines closer. They have been in this game the whole way through, putting pressure on. The scrum goes down. All Blacks feed. Big shove for France. But illegally, says the referee. And it's a penalty to the All Blacks. A very, very relieving one. Holy hell, it's a relieving one. John Michael, you feel better now after that succulent Chinese meal? Very nice. Well, I hope that nobody put their hand on your. I think we know. Well, I mean, unless you wanted them to. I hope nobody. You know what I'm trying to say. All Blacks with the line-out throw, finding touch from that penalty on halfway. 1 minute left to go. They go to the middle to Tupou Avai, and the rolling maul is set. All Blacks have it. 4 points the difference. Takiaho breaks down the short side and into French territory. Where's the scrum half? There's nobody there. Fabian Holland is told to go in and fill in the gap. 30 seconds left. The All Blacks just controlling possession now. Told to use it. All Blacks still have it on halfway. Ratama has it at the back. 10 seconds left. One more phase for the All Blacks. Tackle is told to release. 3 seconds left. This will be it. Ratama digs the ball out. The siren sounds. Ratama fires it back for Barrett. Barrett puts it into touch. And the All Blacks have dodged an almighty French bullet here. 31 points to 27. They will take the victory. But there was nothing, and I mean nothing at all, convincing about that. Credit to this young, inexperienced French team. What a performance they put on, pushing the All Blacks all the way. And the ultimate nod of acknowledgement from the All Blacks at the back end of that contest, deciding to take the shot at 3 when they had a 1-point lead and a penalty in the red zone, acknowledging the French defense tonight and taking the 3 points. 31 points to 27. They've got the victory. But they know that they were in a war tonight, the All Blacks. In an absolute war. A proper test match. I mean, we all thought it was going to be one-way traffic. We all thought one-way traffic. Oh, Waste of Water Sports on YouTube, 6,499 subscribers. Do we have one more? Thank you so much, by the way. For those who are new to the channel, I mean, this is what we do here. Alternative commentary for rugby union, rugby league, cricket, Formula One, professional wrestling. We do cover a fair bit of stuff. If you have enjoyed your time with me here today for this one, well, I'll be coming back. British and Irish Lions versus the New South Wales Waratahs will be on in approximately 40 minutes. But yes, if you have enjoyed spending time here with me today, then do feel free to hit like and subscribe, or chuck us a follow on Twitch. We're also on Twitch. We're also on TikTok and Facebook, live streaming all over the place. But YouTube is and forever will be our primary platform. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me wherever you've joined us from. Been a hell of a game. Will Jordan with... did Will Jordan end up getting his 3rd try? He got 2. The 3rd one was scrubbed out. So 2 tries to Will Jordan, a try to Geordie Barrett and Tupou Vai. And for France, it was largely penalty goals that kept him in it. John Michael says, this stream makes me feel very happy. And I'm very happy to hear that, John Michael. I'm glad that you're enjoying your time here, hanging out. The Knee Crumbler says, All Blacks still a relatively young international team. A good test. Craig Kennett says the All Blacks dominated the whole second half. Look at the territory and the possession stats. But ultimately, Craig, it all means nothing if it doesn't equate to scoreboard results. Now, they got the win, but yeah, the domination certainly didn't reflect on the scoreboard. Bobby, ahoy, mate. Great game by the French. They should be proud. 100% they should be. Raiders are up 28-12 with 20 minutes remaining. Kyo Weeks with 3 tries. Boy, he's having a season. Lucky win for the All Blacks, says John Cara. A lot to learn from this game. Absolutely. There will be a lot of lessons for both teams. Tania Godwin, a win is a win, but that wasn't a good win. Well played, France. Absolute, you know, we're talking a lot about the All Blacks. I mean, that's my team, so obviously I'm going to talk a fair bit. But as much as we're talking about the All Blacks, I mean, let's compliment France. They sent over an understrength team, were written off by everybody, myself included, and they came out and gave the All Blacks an almighty scare. So, I mean, let's just appreciate how well they played and made an absolute proper test match out of it. So cheers to what I've affectionately called the baby French for a hell of a performance. Hell of a performance. All right, so Western Water Sports, I have got to get ready for the next game. For those who are interested, we will be sticking with rugby union tonight. I have committed myself to covering the entirety, or as much as possible at least, of the British and Irish Lions tour. So that is coming up in about 40 minutes. 40 minutes. 40. 40 minutes time. We will be back here. British and Irish Lions tour continues as they take on the New South Wales Waratahs. So, can the Lions continue to go on this undefeated run on Australian soil? They obviously lost their very opening game to Argentina, but in terms of the Australian tour, they are undefeated on these shores. I'm expecting that to continue. 31 points to 27 here, though. The All Blacks got the job done in this close contest in the end. And credit to France for that performance that they put up and that fight that they brought to the All Blacks. It really turned out to be a fantastic game. Gert Lotter says this All Blacks have no more fire like 2 years ago. This coach is not the right coach. He's creating more negatives, and there is some problems between him and the players. The flair is gone. Yeah, there you go. Well, I think what happened with Scotty Razor, I think he is the right coach, but for some reason, I feel like he's been very what's the word? I feel like he was very hesitant to bring in changes when he first took over the job. Like normally what happens, a coach takes over and a coach comes in and just sweeps out the entire team and puts all their own sort of processes in place, all their people in place, all their players in place. I was actually surprised when Scotty Razor took over and he left Fozzie's squad largely intact. He brought a few players in and he brought them off the bench, but he largely kept Ian Foster's squad intact. I was surprised by that. And he was trying to get Fozzie's squad to play his style of rugby, and it wasn't working. It was a very rusty old start to Razor's career as the head coach. I think he's slowly but surely getting there, and despite the fact that they snuck through to a win tonight, I feel like this is a much better looking Scott Razor Robertson squad. So I think he's finally put the sweepers through and starting to get his own guys in there. I feel like he should have done it from the very start. I mean, short-term pain for long-term gain. That's what I always like to say. Short-term pain for long-term gain. And I don't think he did that when he first took over. I feel like he's doing it now. So it is going to take a little bit of time for this team to gel. There are a few debutants out there tonight for the All Blacks as well. Let's not forget. That's to take nothing away from this French team and the performance they put in. But I'm just saying there were a few debutants out there as well for the All Blacks tonight, having their first taste of international rugby, and some of them probably should have been there a little bit sooner than they've been thrown out there. But yeah, I do think Scott Razor Robertson is the right man for the job moving forward when you consider what the alternative was. The alternative was more years of Ian Foster, who, well, I mean, look, Ian Foster didn't do bad, but I mean, Fozzie is the owner of some really unwanted records for the All Blacks. That's for sure. Okay, so All Blacks, they've got the job done anyway, 31 points to 27. We've got coming up the British and Irish Lions versus the New South Wales. Jason Hamilton. Oh my God. I don't even know what I just read. Okay, so I've gone 3 legs. Darby Lancaster, Mac Hansen, and Hugh Jones, anytime try scorers for the next game. I'm gonna have myself a quick break. The All Blacks 31-27, but they know they were in a fight here this evening. France pushing them all the way. I'll catch you guys in about 30 minutes, roughly about half hour. We'll be back right here on the channel. So if you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed hanging out with me here, do feel free to chuck a like and subscribe. And we'll be back in half an hour's time. British and Irish Lions taking on the New South Wales Waratahs. I hit the button too early. I'll catch you there. Cheers. See you soon.